I'm 86 years old and I just bought myself a motorcycle helmet. Not because I'm planning to ride one, but because my 32-year-old neighbor Jake invited me to go on a ride with him next week. And you know what? I said yes. Most people my age would think I'm crazy. But after wasting 47 years of my life being dead inside, I've learned something most people never figure out. There are 5 things that separate seniors who are truly alive from those who are just waiting to die. And if you're still doing these at 70, 80, or beyond, you're not just surviving, you're actually winning. My name is Beatrice. Some of you might know my story. I spent 47 years married to a man I never loved, trapped in a beautiful cage going through the motions. Howard died in 2007. I was 69 years old, and for the first time in my adult life, I could breathe. That was 17 years ago, and these last 17 years have taught me more about living than the previous 69 combined. I've watched friends my age give up, shut down, fade away, and I've watched others come alive in ways that shock their families. The difference isn't luck. It's not genes. It's these 5 specific things. The first thing is saying yes to experiences that scare you, not stupid, dangerous things, but things that make your heart beat faster, things that make you feel alive. 3 months after Howard died, my daughter Catherine invited me to go ziplining with her. I was 69 years old. I'd never done anything like that in my entire life. Howard would have said it was ridiculous, unsafe, inappropriate for someone my age. And for a second, I heard his voice in my head telling me no. But then I realized something. Howard was dead, and I was finally free to make my own choices. So I went, and when I was up there, hooked to that line, about to push off the platform, I was terrified. My hands were shaking. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it might give out right there. But then I pushed off. And for those 30 seconds flying through the air, I felt more alive than I had in 47 years of marriage. I wasn't Howard's wife. I wasn't playing a role. I was just Beatrice, flying through the trees, screaming and laughing like a kid. That was 17 years ago. Since then, I've gone kayaking. I've tried sushi, Thai food, Indian food, all these things Howard said were too exotic. I took a painting class where we painted nude models. 70-year-old me, sitting in a room with a naked 20-something model, learning about shadows and proportions. Howard would have died of embarrassment, but I loved every second of it. Last year I went to a concert, a real concert with loud music and crowds of young people. My grandson Max invited me to see this band he loves. I didn't know any of their songs. I was the oldest person there by about 40 years, but I went, and I stood there in that crowd, feeling the bass vibrate through my chest, watching Max's face light up, and I thought, this is what living feels like. Most people my age, they stop trying new things around 60 or 65. They decide they're too old, too set in their ways, too tired. They eat the same foods, watch the same TV shows, see the same people, follow the same routines, until they die. And they call that wisdom. They call that being comfortable. But it's not wisdom. It's death in slow motion. Every time you say no to something new because you're too old, you're choosing death over life. You're choosing Howard's way, safe, comfortable, dead inside. The second thing is maintaining real, honest friendships where you can be completely yourself. Not just people you know, real friends who see you, who you don't have to perform for. For 47 years, I had friends, lots of them. We'd have coffee, go to church together, attend each other's parties. But I couldn't be real with any of them. I couldn't tell them I was miserable in my marriage. I couldn't admit I felt empty inside. I had to smile, play my role, pretend everything was perfect. After Howard died, most of those friendships faded because they weren't really friendships. They were performances. We were all playing parts, being who we thought we should be, not who we actually were. But then I joined a book club, and I met Ruth. She was 73, had just lost her husband too, and one day we were supposed to be discussing some novel, and instead she just looked at me and said, "Did you love him?" "Your husband," because I didn't love mine. And just like that, the mask cracked. I told her the truth, all of it. The 47 years of emptiness, the relief I felt when Howard died, the guilt, everything. And she understood, because she'd lived it too. Ruth became my real friend, the first real friend I'd had in decades. We talk about everything, our regrets, our fears, our bodies falling apart, sex, money, death, things most people our age won't admit to thinking about. And that honesty, that realness, it feeds my soul in ways small talk never could. I have 3 friends like this now, Ruth, Margaret, and Dorothy. We meet every Thursday for coffee. We tell each other the truth. We laugh about things we're supposed to be dignified about. We talk about our bodies, our desires, our anger, our joy, all of it. No performance, no masks. And I have young friends too, real ones. My neighbor Jake, the one with the motorcycle. He's 32. We became friends 3 years ago when his mom died. He was lost, didn't know how to handle the grief, and I sat with him one afternoon and told him the truth about loss, how it never really goes away, how you just learn to carry it. Now we're actual friends. He brings me coffee, tells me about his dating disasters, asks my advice, and I'm honest with him in ways I never could be with my own son, because there's no history, no roles we have to play. Just 2 people who see each other clearly. Most seniors, they only have friends their own age, or they only have family, and both of those come with expectations, with roles you have to perform. But real friendship, where you can be completely yourself, that's rare, that's precious, and it keeps you alive in ways nothing else can. The third thing is physical intimacy and affection. And I don't just mean sex, though. I'll get to that. I mean touch, human contact, feeling connected to another body. This is the one nobody talks about. Everyone acts like once you hit 70, you stop being a physical being. You stop wanting to be touched, held, desired. But that's garbage. Complete garbage. I went 47 years barely being touched. Howard and I had sex, but it was mechanical, routine. There was no passion, no real intimacy. He never held me just to hold me, never kissed me unless it was leading somewhere, never touched me in ways that made me feel seen, desired, alive. After he died, I thought that part of my life was over. I was 69 years old. Who was going to want a 69-year-old woman? My body was falling apart. Nothing looked the way it used to. I'd accepted that physical intimacy was behind me. But then I met Robert. I was 72. He was 76. We met at a grief support group, both of us trying to figure out how to live after our spouses died. We started as friends. Then one night we were having dinner at his place, and he reached across the table and took my hand, just held it. And I started crying, because I realized how much I'd missed being touched, how starving I was for physical affection, how much I needed to feel like a body, not just a mind trapped in an aging shell. Robert and I dated for 3 years, and yes, we had sex. I was 72 years old having the best sex of my entire life with a 76-year-old man. because it wasn't about performance or duty. It was about connection, about two bodies finding comfort and joy in each other. He died 2 years ago, heart attack, just like Howard. But what I felt when Robert died was completely different. I grieved him, really grieved him, because I'd actually loved him. We'd had something real, and even now at 86, I still need touch. I get massages once a month, not because I'm in pain, though I am, but because I need human hands on my body. I need to be touched with care. My grandkids hug me, and I hold on longer than I probably should because that contact feeds something deep inside me. My friend Margaret, she's 81, just started dating again. She met a man at the senior center, he's 79, and she's nervous about the physical part, worried her body isn't good enough anymore. And I told her what I wish someone had told me. Your body is exactly good enough right now. It's carried you for 81 years. It deserves pleasure. It deserves touch. It deserves to feel alive. Most people my age, they've given up on physical intimacy. They think it's over, inappropriate, too late. But giving up on your body while you're still in it, that's another form of dying. You're still here. You still have nerve endings. You still have skin that wants to be touched. Don't starve yourself of that just because society says you're too old to be physical. The fourth thing is having something you create, something you make with your own hands that didn't exist before you made it. I spent 47 years not creating anything. I cooked meals that were eaten and forgotten. I cleaned a house that just got dirty again. I raised children who grew up and left. Everything I did disappeared. Nothing lasted. Nothing was mine. After Howard died, I took that painting class I mentioned, and I was terrible at first. My hands shook from arthritis. My proportions were wrong. My colors were muddy. But I kept going, and slowly I got better. I started painting every single day. I'd wake up at 6 a.m., make my coffee, and paint for 2 hours before doing anything else. And for the first time in my life, I was creating something that lasted, something that was mine. I'm not a great painter. I'll never be in galleries or win awards, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that I'm making something, taking a blank canvas and filling it with color and shape and meaning, creating something that didn't exist before I touched it. I have 47 paintings now hanging in my house. My kids think I should sell them or give them away, but I won't, because every single one represents a morning where I chose to create instead of just consume, where I made something instead of just using up time. My friend Dorothy, she writes poetry, started when she was 78. She'd never written anything creative in her life. Now she has 3 notebooks filled with poems. Some of them are good, most of them aren't, but she doesn't care, because she's creating something, putting her thoughts and feelings into words that will exist after she's gone. This is different from having a hobby. Lots of seniors have hobbies. They do crosswords, play cards, garden. But creating something is different. It's taking nothing and making something. It's proof that you're still here, still capable, still adding something to the world instead of just taking up space in it. When I paint, I'm not Howard's widow. I'm not Richard and Catherine's mother. I'm not an 86-year-old woman with arthritis and failing eyesight. I'm an artist. I'm someone who makes things. And that identity, that sense of being a creator, it keeps me tethered to life in ways nothing else does. The fifth thing is absolute honesty about your life. No more pretending. No more performing. No more protecting other people's feelings at the expense of your own truth. This is the hardest one, because most of us have spent our whole lives lying. Little lies, big lies. Lies we tell ourselves, lies we tell others. We lie about being happy when we're miserable. We lie about our marriages being good when they're dead. We lie about having no regrets when we're drowning in them. I lied for 47 years. Every time someone said I was lucky to have Howard, I smiled and agreed. Every time someone asked if I was happy, I said yes. Every time my kids asked if I loved their father, I said of course. Lies. All lies. After Howard died, I decided no more lies. If someone asks me a question, I tell them the truth. If my kids ask if their father and I were happy, I tell them no, we weren't. Their dad and I had a dead marriage, and I wasted 47 years pretending otherwise. That honesty has cost me some relationships. My son Richard barely talks to me anymore. He thinks I'm being cruel, disrespecting his father's memory. But I'm not being cruel. I'm just finally telling the truth. And that truth has set me free. I don't have to pretend anymore. I don't have to protect anyone's illusions. I can just be honest about my life, my regrets, my choices, the good and the bad. When my daughter Catherine got divorced 3 years ago, she called me crying, saying she felt like a failure. And I told her the truth. I said getting divorced isn't failure. Staying in a marriage that's killing you, that's failure. I told her I was proud of her for having the courage I never had, for choosing herself. That honesty gave her permission to stop feeling ashamed, to stop lying about why her marriage ended, to start telling people the truth, that she wasn't happy, that her husband was a good man but they had nothing real together, that she wanted more than just comfort and stability. Most seniors, they take their secrets to the grave. They protect their image, their family's image, everyone's feelings except their own. They die with their truth locked inside them, and their regrets eat them alive from the inside. But telling the truth, even when it's ugly, even when people don't want to hear it, that's what actually sets you free. That's what allows you to finally be yourself after a lifetime of being who everyone else needed you to be. I tell young people the truth about my marriage now, about how security isn't enough, about how marrying someone you don't love will kill something inside you, about how every day you spend living someone else's life is a day you can never get back. And some people get angry. They think I'm being negative, discouraging. But I'm not. I'm being honest. And honesty is the greatest gift you can give someone. Because lies, even comfortable ones, they trap you. Truth sets you free. Here's what I've learned in these 17 years of actually living. Life doesn't end at 70 or 80. It doesn't have to. But you have to choose it. Every single day, you have to choose to say yes to things that scare you, to build real friendships, to stay connected to your body, to create something, to tell the truth. Those 5 things. That's the difference between being alive and just not being dead yet. I look at my son Richard. He's 62 now, living the same dead marriage I lived, going through the motions with a woman he doesn't love, hasn't loved in decades. And it breaks my heart because I see myself in him. The same fear, the same settling, the same slow suffocation. But I also look at my daughter Catherine. She's 60, and after her divorce, she came alive. She's dating someone new now, someone who makes her laugh, who she can be real with. She started painting too. We paint together sometimes, and she glows in a way she never did in her 18-year marriage. That's the choice, death in life or life in life. Even at 86, even with arthritis and bad knees and hearing aids and all the other ways my body is failing, I'm more alive now than I was at 30 or 40 or 50 because I'm not performing anymore. I'm not pretending. I'm just living, saying yes to motorcycle rides with my 32-year-old neighbor, painting terrible paintings that make me happy having real conversations where I tell the truth, missing touch, and admitting it instead of pretending I'm beyond that, creating things that will outlast me. Next week, I'm getting on that motorcycle with Jake. I'm 86 years old and I'm terrified. But that terror means I'm still alive. It means I still care about being here, experiencing things, feeling things. And as long as I can feel that fear, that excitement, that aliveness, I'm winning. I wasted 47 years. Don't waste yours. Say yes to things that scare you. Build friendships where you can be real. Stay connected to your body. Create something. Tell the truth. Those 5 things. That's how you win at life at any age. 'Cause here's the real truth. You don't get more time. This is it. Right now. This is your one life. And every day you spend pretending, performing, playing it safe, that's a day you can't get back. I can't get back those 47 years. They're gone. But I'm not wasting one more day. Not one. And if you're doing these 5 things, if you're saying yes and building real connections and creating and being honest, then neither are you. Subscribe if you needed to hear this.